Hey, third graders, hope you're having a great day today. Today we are going to be doing 5-1, homework and remembering, and you can see we have some more area and perimeter with our dots, which is kind of fun. So we are going to follow directions, and they have the dots written on there, so we just are going to read and draw our shapes. So here we go. Our first one is we're going to make a rectangle. You guys know what a rectangle is, okay? That is 5 centimeters long and 3 centimeters wide. So it's going to be 5 on the bottom and 3 on the side. So let's start with our part on the side. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go 5 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I like to label the sides like this, just so that you know that you have that there. And then I'm just going to make both sides the same. I made this one the same as this 3 side, and I'm making this side the same as the top. Okay, and then I have, if I wanted to write my centimeters in here, okay, because that helps when I go to do my perimeter and area, which I'm going to do next. All right, so now they're asking us, what is your perimeter and area? We know that perimeter is the rim, so I'm going to be adding up those numbers along the rim, okay? And remember, we can just 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, okay? Doesn't matter what order you add them up in. You could also say, maybe you want to do both the 3s and then both the 5s and then add them together, okay? The other way to do it would be to do those tick marks. If you want to use the tick marks, you have to go in between the dots, and you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I personally would just add up your numbers, okay? So I know that 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 13, and then 3 more would be 16 for my perimeter. And then I know that my perimeter is CM, okay, for perimeter, remember, and then we're CM with the little 2 for CM squared. And then area, remember, is the inside, okay? So I need to make my squares. It's not a choice to make the squares. You have to make the squares and connect your dots just as straight as you can. Okay, now I'm ready to do my numbering. I'm using different colors. You can just use your pencil. Okay, do my numbers inside. 1, 2, I keep counting. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I know that it is 15 for my area, okay? So you can do whichever one you want first. I'm going to help you draw the next one. I think I'm going to let you draw this one on your own, okay? Because it's a rectangle again, and it's 3 and 3. So it's the same length as it is wide. Okay, so this is how I'm going to draw my shape on the dots. I wanted you to do one of those by yourself. Okay, and then when you get down to number 3 and 4, let's zoom in there. Okay, they have the shape there for you. So you need to do your little hash marks, your little tick marks all the way around. Count the rim, right? And then I need to make my squares on the inside, just like yesterday. Okay, and then I'm ready to count the inside ones and number them. Just remember when you're doing those tick marks that you are going in the middle of the square. We are not doing it on the dots. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I know that the rim is 12, okay? So you're going to finish the area on that one and then do number 4. And then we are going to talk about our last big problem at the bottom. Harvey wants to paint one wall in his room. with squares of different colors. He wants the sides of each square to measure 1 foot by 1 foot. He does not want to repeat any colors. The wall is 8 feet high and 10 feet long. How many different colors does he need? Okay, so I want you to picture the wall. Okay, we're going to draw a picture of the wall. This is the wall. Okay, and he's going to have all those different squares. Okay, and it's 10 feet high and 8 feet high and 10 feet long. So think about that. Okay, if I have 8 and 10 on these sides, right? In order to figure out that, I would have to do the area, okay? And another way to do area is to times our corners. And we're going to be showing you that in the next couple lessons. You can't see my line on the bottom of the worksheet here, but to do area, to figure that out, you would need to do 8 times 10 to figure out how many different kinds of paint that he has. So that's another way to do area, is to times your corners. And we're going to be talking about that coming up in the next few days. So that is your equation for that one. And then when you're ready, I want you to meet me on the back page. All right, here we are on the back. So we are going to be, we've done this before, we're going to be using the data in the chart that's provided right here. And we're going to take that information and move it over to our line plot, okay? This is the one where we do the dots. Line plots are the dots. So I need to look at all the different ones, and I think the best thing to do for this is to look for ones that match. So I'm going to start with 1. Is there anybody who had just 1? Okay, I see Rocky did, so I'm going to check him off. And I'm going to put 1 dot right here. Then I'm going to go to 1.5. And I'm going to look. All of them? Nobody. Okay, so we don't put any dots there. Then I'm going to go to 2. Okay, so I see one person that has 2. You figure that out. Figure out if it's just one person, it's 1 dot. And your dots just go right above each other. So I want you to finish that on your own. Then down below, they're going to ask you some questions about your graph. Okay, which length appears the most often? So that would be the most kids. Okay, which length? Is it going to be 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, or 4? Okay, you're going to put the length. That's the number of inches on the line there. Which one had the most kids? Then it says, what is the length of the shortest crayon? Okay, so remember, these are all crayon lengths here. So which one is the shortest? So you're going to pick the smallest number. Okay, put that there. And both of these should be labeled in inches, guys. We can just say IN. And then our last question is, what is the difference in lengths between the shortest and the longest crayon? Okay, so I'm going to be looking at the difference. Well, I know my shortest one is 1, and I know my longest one is 4. So when I'm figuring out the difference, I need to subtract and put the big number first. Okay, so take your biggest crayon, subtract your smallest crayon, and write it on the line. When you get down to here, you're going to be doing some more of the fractions. They're going to tell you how many to shade. All right, so the first part says divide the whole into 4 equal parts. They already did that for us, so we don't have to do anything there. Okay, now over here is where you shade 3 parts. You can do that. And then underneath is where you're labeling these. Remember how these are 1 out of 4 plus. You're going to do that for every square that's here, okay? And there's 4 of them. When it gets over here, there's only 3 parts shaded. So it's going to be different, isn't it? You're going to start the same thing again, but you're only going to be doing it as many as you have shaded, okay? And stretch your thinking. That looks kind of fun. I bet somebody will do it. Draw a shape that has a perimeter of 12 and an area of 6. So think about a shape. Okay, so you can put any shape here, just like this. Okay. And then you're going to label your sides. It has to have a perimeter of 12. That means all of the sides have to add up to 12. Okay, so think about that. Are my sides going to be like 4 and 4 and 5 and 5? That wouldn't work, would it? Because that would be too big. So you have to make sure that your perimeter or your rim adds up to 12 and that your area is 6. Okay, so that's the inside. It's going to have 6 squares in the inside. You could do it. And I drew it over here, but you can actually draw it on the dot diagram right here. And it doesn't have to be a shape like I did. It could be like a different kind of shape, as long as it only has 6 squares inside. All right, thanks guys.